welcome. We are here with the triple bypass Nichols oil.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to JP Broadcasting, and welcome in to the NicholsOilPros.com series brought to you by Triple Bypass for round number 7 of this season out at Road America here this evening. This round has been sponsored by the naming rights sponsor themselves, Tex Nichols of NicholsOilPros.com. We'll be having a chat with Tex later on this evening during tonight's proceedings, of course, but we're at a road course. We are at Road America here this evening, and it's going to be a tough test for these drivers. They've been used to turning real left and real fast, and all of a sudden they've got some right-hand turns in their way here this evening. I'm your commentator, Hamish Monroe, joined, as always, by the wonderful Jim Cunningham alongside. Jim, big night of racing, a track that we know well as a road course. It's going to be a difficult task in these next-gen NASCARs.
It absolutely is, and it's good to be here with you, by the way. It's going to be. I'm excited for tonight, just because it's fun to watch these guys out of their comfort zone a little bit. But man, these cars are big and heavy, and they don't like to brake and turn 90 degrees. They're not real fond of that at all. So it should be quite interesting.
Let's have a quick look at the points, Jim, and just see where we currently situate leading into this round, because this round could completely change the structure of the point standings, being that it's a bit of an unknown for these drivers. It is, of course, a road course. They're used to driving around those ovals, and it's going to be a tough test for them as Stephen McClendon leads the way, 164 points. He's got 17 points between him and Tyler Merritt in P2, and that's a driver I'm interested to see how they go tonight. Tyler Merritt, the one who races on a gamepad. So it's all good and well to go left and fast, but how's he going to go on right turns? He's got good pace in practice, Jim. Is it going to translate into the race tonight?
Well, I think it will. I think he's proven that he's more than competent on that race controller. And if I'm not mistaken, when you and I talked to him a week or two ago, he said that he actually was more comfortable doing road course racing with the controller than he is with doing oval. So, I think I would say yes, it will.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see. Brad Kress, P3, 145 points. Sean Bradley's not too far behind on 144. And then Ben Harcum in P5, 142. Jared Jackson, 140. So they're tightly contested pretty much from P2 down. It's really that big gap between Steve McClendon and Tyler Merritt that is relatively big. It's all within 2 or 1 points down all the way to P7. And then P8, we got Dave Hendricks, who's 12 points behind on 126 points. Jeff Slaughter, Kyle Dewey, your top 10 in the championship. And there was a little bit of a we'll call it mistaken identity last week, Jim. You got the Kyles confused.
I did. So yeah, last week I read the points off, and when I got down to 10th place, I said last year's champion Kyle Dewey. And Kyle Dewey's a great driver, but he was not last year's champion. Last year's champion was Kyle Gretsch, and I want to apologize to him and the triple bypass guys for making that mistake. It's not like I didn't know who the champion was. It was just under pressure. I saw Kyle and went for it. So I apologize to everybody involved. But Kyle Dewey is definitely in 10th place, and he is in the hunt for this year's championship. So that's a good thing.
He is indeed. Let's have a quick preview of this track, Jim, because it's not really easy to do a track guide for an oval, but it's a bit different for Road America itself, being that it is a road course. So we'll let you take the reins and give us a preview of this wonderful circuit out in the US.
Yeah, I did a little taped thing earlier, and just to kind of give you guys a tour of the track and to show you exactly how horrible my racing skills really are. All right, welcome. We are here with the Triple Bypass NicholsOilPro.com Next Gen Series, and this week we're going to be at Road America. So, being that this was a road course, it's something a little bit different than what we normally do. I thought I would take us for a little lap around here and show you guys how difficult this track can be for these competitors. This track has a lot of 90-degree turns that are in heavy braking zones. These cars are big and heavy, and they don't like to slow up and turn like that. Very difficult. They have a lot of they have a high horsepower, and you have to be careful getting back on the throttle here. This thing can get away from you really quick, as you'll see in my video of my lap here. I almost lost it a couple times. So let's take a look. So we're coming down here out of turn 14 down the start-finish straight. You crest a big hill right here, and the start-finish line will be right after that. And now you're flying down here in fifth gear, heading for a heavy braking zone into turn 1. Come all the way down to second gear. You roll through here, back on the throttle. As you can see, I got a little heavy on it right there. Then you're approaching down here through turn 2, and this is turn 3. Down also another second gear sweeping turn, and now we're rolling through and passing under the Cheese Bridge here in Road America, of course, in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. So as we're coming down another long straightaway, getting up to fifth gear and approaching turn 5, another downhill heavy braking zone. Really hard to get the car stopped and turned here. And then immediately back on the throttle, and right here you have a hard braking zone that you have to do before you crest the hill. If you don't slow the car down before you crest the hill, you won't be able to stop it because it gets really light at the top of the hill. Now this is coming down here through what's known as Hurry Downs, and approaching turn 8 here, hard braking zone, another 90-degree turn, and we're approaching the Speedville Bridge, and this leads into the carousel, which is a big sweeping right-hander that can give you a lot of fits. It can sling you right off track, and you got to be able to get back on the throttle here hard, because now you're running through one of the fastest parts on the track. You come into an area that's known as the Kink. You don't really slow up much there at all, and then you carry a lot of speed down here through Kettle Bottoms and down into Canada Corner. High speed, heavy braking zone right here into Canada Corner, and that's another good opportunity to pass, but a tough heavy braking zone. Then we run through turn 13 here, and this is a tricky. If you get on the throttle too early here, the back end will come around on you so easily. And then here we coming through turn 14 and back down on the start-finish line straight. And again, this is going to be a uphill, and there's the start-finish line. That's a lap around Road America, and I hope you guys enjoyed that.
On February 16th, 2025, Charlotte Motor Speedway set the stage for an action-packed showdown in the Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pro Series. The 120-lap battle had plenty of excitement, featuring 5 different leaders, 10 lead changes, and 3 cautions that slowed the field for a total of 9 laps. With high-speed runs and constant battles for the lead, this race kept everyone on edge from start to finish. The TBP All-Stars 120 was sponsored by league co-founder John Crutchley and streamed live by our good friends at JPBroadcasting. Thanks to Naj for making it happen. Sean Bradley in car 77 stole the show with an incredible drive from 13th to take the checkered flag. Bradley was in command for most of the race, leading 75 laps and setting his fastest lap at 29.3 seconds on lap 96. His ability to control the pace and stay ahead in the closing laps proved to be the difference, sealing a well-earned victory. What a performance. Matt Perosini in the 24th made a strong charge from 11th to finish second, crossing the line 3.2 seconds behind Bradley. He led 16 laps and clocked his best lap on lap 4, proving he had the speed to contend at the front. Despite his efforts, he couldn't quite close the gap in the final stretch, but still secured an impressive runner-up finish. Right behind him, the 38th of Tyler Merritt had a steady and competitive run, finishing third just 1.6 seconds behind Perosini. Merritt, a familiar name at the front, had an up-and-down race, and though he didn't lead any laps this time, his ability to maintain a strong pace kept him in the fight for a podium spot. Jared Jackson put together a solid performance to finish 4th, and Matt Harmon battled his way to a 5th-place finish after rolling off from 8th, rounding out the top 5 in a strong effort. With multiple lead changes, side-by-side battles, and 3 cautions mixing up the strategy, Charlotte delivered another memorable event. We hope you enjoyed this thrilling triple bypass Nichols Oil Pro Series recap. We'll see you next time.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
And we are back in, and we're well underway in qualifying as well, Jim, after some great messages there from, of course, NicholsOilPro.com with their AMSOIL ad, as well as the race recap from Charlotte, where we saw the 77 car take the win out of that race. It was an absolutely thrilling race last week at Charlotte, and also great job on your little lap guide there as well, Jim. It was absolutely fantastic. But we're well into qualifying at the moment. Drivers are out there on their own, setting their lap times. There's about 3 minutes left. Chad Bear matching his pace in practice. He did an 11 in practice. He's done a 2:10.99 to currently sit provisional pole position ahead of Kyle Gretsch in P2. Marty Rogers, Keaton Cruthers, and then Brad Kress as the top 5 with Ben Harkham, Anthony Suarez, Will Emmett, Matt Piricini, and Sean Bradley for your top 10 at the moment. And Tyler Merritt, I've noticed, Jim, is yet to set a lap time in qualifying, and I'm watching him on my end. He has just blown it up at Canada Corner and gone off the road. And if he can't get a lap time in, this might be a tough night on the road for him, because I have a feeling that qualifying is going to be very imperative around this track. We're probably not going to see as many lead changes as we normally would with the ovals. And I think it's going to come down to how clean you can run tonight. That's what's really going to dictate how well you can do in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly in qualifying, you and I were talking during the race recap video and stuff, and Tyler's fast, but as you can see right there, he is struggling a little bit with the controller to keep these cars on track, which I can believe it. I've got a really nice sim rig, and I struggle hard to keep these cars on the track. So I can only imagine what trying to do it with a controller. The braking for these cars is so tough here, and clearly he was struggling with that.
You can see as well that Tex Nichols is not currently qualifying. Do we maybe drag him in for a sneaky little chat?
I mean, we could if we want to right now. He said he wasn't too great at road courses. My guess is he's just going to start from the back and be happy there, We certainly can try. Yeah, pull him in. Let's see what happens.
Yep, we will drag him in. Mr. Nichols, we thought we'd drag you in since you're not out there cutting a lap, and chat to you as the course the series sponsor, but also the round sponsor as well for this round, the NicholsOilPros.com 28 for Road America. Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I don't do well at road courses, and every time I've sponsored a race, I've ended up getting tagged somewhere. So I was like, I'll just sponsor this one.
Well, that's probably a good move on your part.
Just chalk it up, to begin with. I'm just trying to survive to the end and see how many people I can pass because they DNF'd.
Right. That's probably a good strategy tonight. I did some practice laps and tried to record one, and it took me forever to get a decent lap. So I understand the struggle here for sure. So qualifying just ended. They're probably going to grid you guys up. But we just wanted to pull you in, say hello real quick. Thank you for sponsoring the race and the series, and we might pull you back in at the stage break, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good broadcast, and I'm gonna let them barrel into turn one, and I'm gonna lay back and avoid the melee.
All right, buddy. We'll
No
talk to you
worries at all.
later.
Thank you so much. Starting grid for tonight's race, there will be as follows. Chad Bear, Kyle Gretsch will start on the front row of the grid with Marty Rogers and Keaton Crothers for your top four. Brad Kress, Mart Herzog got into the top six with Ben Harkham and Anthony Suarez for the top eight. Will Emmett and Sean Bradley will then make up the top 10 with Matt Pericini and John Campbell on the sixth row of the grid. Jared Jackson, Ryan Hyatt will start in behind with Dylan Brown, Elton Wu, Matt Harmon, John Crutchley for the top 18. Tyler Merritt, Timothy O'Connor for the top 20. Kyle Dewey, Cameron Kane for the 11th row of the group with Michael Seymour, Jason Benson, Matthew Aloka, Brian Cooper, Isaac Voss, Tex Nichols, Tyler Rulis, and Ward Fisher makes up the 30-car grid this evening for what is going to be a rolling start at Road America Gym. And in my opinion, should have made them send it. Should have made them start on a standing start.
No, that's probably better.
See how bad the tires spin up then, Jim.
No,
you know?
we're probably better off not doing that. So let's see here. While they're gridding up, we'll get a look at the race information here. And around here, they'll be gridding up soon, I guess.
Well, the majority of them are on the grid. We're waiting for 3 cars. I am focused on the leader on my end, so I'll tell you when the pace car does pull away. We're running the Porsche iRacing pace car tonight, the one that stays at Road America, not the oval one. And I'm under the impression, Jim, as the pace car's about to start pulling away. You know what? I do not mind when the series runs the Chev truck as a pace car. I find that it's funny, but it's kind of cool too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even know if that probably Ford is probably the automatic pick,
Yeah, most likely.
And that's probably just, they went that route. All right, so yeah, it's interesting. We got some fast guys that did not qualify up front. I wonder if that's going to be just a situation where they are,
Be strategic.
Could be, and they're gonna maybe they didn't get a lot of practice in. It's going to take them a little while to find their groove,
We've already had an incident before
no.
we've even gone green, so we'll have something to replay too after the first lap. Question, Jim, before we go green though, how many blow it up into turn one?
I think it's really possible it's going to be quite ugly.
It quite possibly could be, but Bear and Gretsch side by side up towards the start-finish line at Road America. Green flag running for the NicholsOilPros.com 28 laps of Road America. As they lead down towards turn one, they need to get those braking marks completely unsettled, and Bear's gone off at one already. So Gretsch takes the lead. Bear, who started on the pole, had the pace through qualifying and practice, has absolutely blown it up. Kyle Gretsch now leads the way. Marty Rogers, Keaton Crothers, Brad Kress, Mark Herzig, Ben Harkin, Anthony Suarez, Will Emmett for your top 10. Chad Bear has dropped all the way back to P11. So now he's going to have some racing. He's going to have some overtakes to make.
Yeah, that's surprising. He's a really fast driver, but again, that braking zone going down into one when you're hauling the mail is it's a tough. It's hard to get that car stopped and turned.
It really is. As we lead round towards the mid part of the Road America circuit, I've said a long time, Jim, for all the races that I've called here, the circuit almost feels like 3 circuits in one. You've kind of got it almost feels oval-ish. Then from the main straight down through turn 1 and turn 2 down towards turn 3, and then you get that midpoint where it's kind of just changing back every single corner, and then you've got more of a flowy Nürburgring style of circuit at the back end towards the latter half of the lap. So they get put in the deep end tonight for Road America, of course, because it's a big test for them. They're having to wrestle these cars for 28 laps, which is a hard enough effort as made for road courses like a GT or a supercar, but in a NASCAR, where it literally has zero. The forearms are going to be getting a workout.
And their left leg. You got the brakes pretty hard on this place, man. It's definitely a handful. I'm telling you, I struggled so bad today just trying to do that lap guide. Finally, I just had to say, well, look, I just got to slow down and get the lap guide done. I'm not going to put up a time that's going to be impressive. It was that bad. It really was.
Let's have a quick look before the green flag flew,
Yeah.
Jim, at the moment with Isaac Voss and Tyler Rulis
Yeah.
off the race start. This was before we had even gone green when this moment happened between them. And it's quite an interesting moment for sure. So they're following the pace car. So what has actually caused this? We just carried way too much speed and just spun it.
Oh,
And then Rulis had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the track there. Let's see if we can find that. This angle. Let's see if we can find that.
We know that Bear ran it straight off the road at turn 1.
Yeah, let's see.
So-
Let's,
This is not good. So we will get a bit of a good view here. So this was Gretsch. He was P2. This is, look at Bear. Bear way too late on the brakes, Jim. He was a little bit too late, and it's caused him to run it way wide and into the sand, and then trickle down the order as well. Back to live. We've had a couple of drivers running off the track as well, including Jared Jackson at the moment. He's now dropped back to his spots in the midpoint of the circuit.
yeah, let's see if I can real quick see what he did there. Oh, yeah.
Big
Well-
lock up, yes.
well-
So that's one of the toughest corners on the circuit, Jim, because you're blind through the braking
100%.
zone up until you get to the top of the hill. And we've seen multiple incidents happen there over the years through a lot of sim racing events. But he got the double bubble. He had the lock up, which ran him wide, and then he also caught the curb on the outside, which spun him round. As Elton Wu's now gone off at Canada Corner as well. So they're struggling, Jim. They are struggling under brakes, and they're struggling to get these cars pulled up. I wonder how many of them, number one, are blipping. So they can get.
Right.
Number two, I wonder how many of them know how to hit toe as well.
That's definitely a technique that that you unfortunately you don't need to do anymore because of these new auto blip stuff in iRacing. So you don't
Oh,
really.
Marty Rogers, Brian Cooper's also been off track too, Jim. Sorry, just further
No,
back. I
that's
think
good.
this is going to be a rolling trend, it seems,
Oh yeah.
tonight. So
Oh yeah.
Marty Rogers, who was P2, oh, it was a minor off
Yeah,
track.
he
it
didn't.
seemed.
Yeah, he didn't lose any positions or anything there.
No. If we go back to live, Gretsch is just leading them up towards the top of the hill at the Corvette Bridge.
So
He's starting to build gap now, which is good for him. And for, where is Chad Bell? Chad Bell's made his way back to P5, so he's on the move.
well, he's fast. He just overshot that turn. We'll go back and have a look at Bear. He seems to be moving up through the field pretty well.
Yep, he is indeed. Speaking of overshooting corners, Jim, Brian Cooper has just blown up turn 1.
It looks like
and
the Elton Wu crash.
absolutely. Yep, Elton Wu has as well. He spun it round.
It's gonna
So a
get-
multitude of moments for some cars, but Brian Cooper, he has completely missed the braking zone, and he had it worse off than what Chad Bear did when he went off in turn 1. He's actually gone all the way wide, Jim, into the wall.
Oh goodness! Let's see if we
If we
can.
can find a replay of that, we can check it out.
Yeah, let me find chopper cam. There. See if we can get a look at that.
Here we go. This was Brian Cooper. So he had to avoid and then just run it way wide and bang straight into the wall. So there's a bit of a moment there for him.
Definitely.
I don't think we're going to be able to replay every instance There's going to be a lot.
Oh,
And it appears that automatic yellows are not turned on, so we'll likely only get the one yellow on the stage, whenever that may be.
right.
But for Gretsch, he's a man on a mission and he's a man on a move, and he's currently got 6 seconds back to Chad Bear, who's currently on screen. He's having to make up ground of what he lost at turn 1, lap 1 when he went off the track. He's got to get past Keaton Crothers, the Canadian ahead of him, and Marty Rogers in P2 to even get back up into P2, and then he's got to try and get ahead of Kyle Gretsch for P1, but he has to lap faster than him if he wants to do so. Currently, he's not doing it.
Let's go back and take a look and see the other guys back here and see how they're progressing along. Here's Sean Bradley, last week's winner. He's
racing Sean, wasn't it? He did incredibly well.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. And Brad Kress, he's right behind here. Brad Kress finished second last week. Another great performance by Brad.
And he had a great performance the 2 weeks prior at Worldwide Tech Center as well, Brad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I just noticed this. I'm going to pop back real quick. We've got Matthew Alcoa. He might have just ran off track, but
Ran it wide. He didn't run completely off, but he ran wide. He's up 12 positions in this race.
So,
Great effort from Matt Aloka.
yeah. So I figured we'd get a look at him real quick, and then just
I
try
must say, I'm a bit disappointed that he's not running 7:11 as his race number.
I know, right? He could too.
Feels like
He's already
it.
777.
Yeah.
And there's Matt Harmon. That's one of the finest liveries in all of stock car racing right there.
No bias, of course. No bias.
No. You know, it's God, I'm looking over here at my incident meter, and it's just going absolutely
It's
berserk.
yellow.
Yes.
It's yellow at this point.
There's just guys off everywhere. I'll have you, as you see something that looks, it's not just a regular off track. If somebody has something major,
I don't know, but unless I see a pool of red, we're likely not going to look at it too often because it's probably just a spin for some drivers. Team Tyler Roberts, who just had one, I just noticed how his was not so bad. He had a minor spin just before Speedville. Keaton Crothers, though, he's had a good run tonight. He's still where he started.
Well, Chad Bear got by him there while we were dancing through the field here. So Chad's back up to third. And let's see if Keaton can hang on to his bumper. It looks like he is as they march their way up towards Marty Rogers.
They're going to try and chase him down as best they can. It appears that the Chevs have got the pace here tonight, Jim.
It does.
The majority of the top 10, there's only 3 non-Chevs in the top 10. 1 Mustang of Sean Bradley and 2 Camrys of Mark Herzig and Ben Harcum at this moment in time. Cam Kane as well has had a good run. He's up 8 positions too as well, Jim. He was just in behind Matt Aloka before. On board with Crothers now.
Oh, yeah, that's had a good run. Yeah, it's nice. This turn is such a struggle, this carousel there. And then this
I think every corner's a struggle, to be honest with you, Jim, in these cars. I don't think any of them are easy.
And this one here, you can carry a lot of speed through there, to the kink right there, and down into I forget the name of this one. It's you're coming up on.
Corner.
Yeah, well that's the bottom. There's a. But yeah, so it's it's a struggle to carry as much as you can through that carousel to get a run down through the kink and everything, and then that turn right there will eat you alive as you're coming up over that hill if you get back on the gas too quick. I was hoping we were going to see. It looks like Chad Barrett's trying to separate himself a little bit there.
Yeah, he's building that gap at net about 1.4 seconds back to Keaton Crothers. He's got just under a second up to Marty Rogers, so he'll be getting into that tow range very, very shortly for Chad Bear. We've got 23 laps to go, Jim, so we're currently on lap 6 of this race. So we're slowly but surely getting there. I mean, it's relatively speaking, Road America, I mean, it's a long lap. It's just over 2 minutes long.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're going to be here for at least an hour.
Yes.
tonight.
And do you happen to recall what the stage break was set at?
I don't know.
I'll check. I'm checking right now.
Calendar. Okay. It's lap 12.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're faster than me. Uh-oh.
So
See
we're
what happens.
halfway
Kyle
as Marty Rogers. Marty Rogers just went off the road then.
Oh.
And let Chad Bear pass.
Oh, he sure did. Well, let me look at this Kyle Dewey, and then we'll come back and look at that. Apparently, Kyle Dewey might have bended here pretty good.
This is down at turn 4 at the end of the back straight.
Ooh, oh, no, not bad.
Wide. Pulled it up.
Nothing major. All right,
no, nothing major. Just an extended run. And then Marty Rogers, unfortunately, at the top of the hill, he's got it a bit loose mid-corner, ran it onto the grass, and Chad Bear just got the power down and got past him fairly easily. So cracked under pressure.
So easy to do that right there. So easy.
It seems to be the real struggle section for them. You get into a corner that's 90 degrees and the thing doesn't want to pull up and it doesn't want to turn.
Did you see Chad Bear's back there? They were
they're red hot.
Oh, lit up. Look.
Yep. If it was a night race, Jim, you'd think he'd have neon on his wheels.
I love night races when the brakes are fired up like that and the cars are sparking and they hit the track a little bit. I love it.
The run down towards turn 1 for Chad Bear. He's got 6.4 seconds to get up to Kyle Gretsch. He needs to get there in the next 6 laps if he hopes to win the stage. Of course, stage end is at lap 12 of 28. No automatic cautions tonight, it seems. That means that we should only have 1 appearance from the iRacing pace car here at Road America. For Bear, though, it's crunch time now. It's knuckle down, head down, again, push forward. And for Crothers and Rogers, it's hang on to him. Let him push him forward. Because realistically speaking, based on how many off tracks we're getting, we're not really going to get any of those back and forth battles. It is going to be a game of survival for these drivers this evening, and they're going to have to try and keep themselves on the road and between those white lines as well. They cannot afford off tracks. They cannot afford moments into the wall, and quite possibly, Jim, the best strategy they could play is just keep it clean, keep it mean, and keep it on the road. And if that means that you don't, you're pushing it 9/10 or 8/10 instead of 10 out of 10, then that might be the secret sauce to you getting a positive result in this race.
Oh, I think you are 100% on point right there. It's absolutely. You cannot run these cars just wide open around here. I mean, you'll make a mistake, especially when you don't have. These guys don't have a ton of experience running these cars every day on road courses, Yeah, they're 100% around here just kill you. I mean, I'm a decent road racer, man, and I struggle bad today in these cars around here.
To be fair as well, Road America is not an easy track. I mean, you might look at it and think it's simple. It's easy to laugh at, but out of the 3 tracks that are above 2 minutes, so Silverstone, Bathurst, and Road America, which are all of a similar lap time, they're all roughly about 6 kilometers long, or I think it's 4 point something miles. This is arguably probably the second hardest one out of the 3, and it's a big gap between this and Silverstone in third. I think Bathurst is easily the hardest just because of the top of the mountain and trying to keep it in check. It's probably the hardest to keep it clean because of the lack of runoff. This is easily the second hardest one out of the 3. I mean, it's one that you get a good break, at least with the straights, but those straights are very early in the lap, and they're right at the end of the lap as well, technically. So it's you, for majority of the lap, for maybe 3 miles, you are on it the whole time because there's not much breathing room between corners, and you've got to keep in the back of your mind, you've got to get this thing pulled up, got to get it turned around the corner, can't push too hard, just got to keep myself in check. And that's what they're the little processes that are happening in the brains of the drivers right now out there. It's hard in any car around here, Jim. GTs, supercars, open wheelers, whatever it is, whatever tickles your fancy. these would be the hardest things to drive around here because they don't like turning, and they don't like braking, and they don't like slowing up.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, it's it's definitely a handful. I would say they're tougher. Supercars are tough to drive too, but on this course and road course, I think these cars are probably tougher.
What they're made for,
Yeah.
I think supercars are tougher because supercars are made for road courses. These are made for ovals.
Right.
But it's like putting something off of something that they're not made for, you know? Like if you put a supercar on a dirt oval, it's not, you know, it's fun, it's hard, but it's fun. You put these on a road course, it's hard, but it's fun. So it's kind of picking and choosing what they're necessarily made to do. Further back in the field, we've had some good gainers as well. The round sponsor Tex Nichols of NicholsOilPros.com is up 4 positions, Jimmy, to P24, just to give you an update on him. Tyler Rulis has followed him. He's actually ahead of him now. He's up 6. Chad Bear, Kyle Gretsch into the pit road. Keaton Brothers is in there too. So these guys possibly going as far as they can on this tank, it seems. A little bit earlier, Marty Rogers already came down pit road as well, so he's a bit further back in the field. Big losers out of this race. John Campbell, he's down 6. We saw him have a moment early on. Rogers is down 6, but that's because he's been down pit road. And then as well, Ryan Hyatt, he's down at 11 towards the back of the field too. Tyler Merritt, unfortunately, Jim, gave up after 2 laps.
Yeah.
As did Brian Cooper. So it appears that Merritt's claim that he's better on road courses on the pad, I don't think so.
Well,
I don't believe it at this point.
certainly not. You know, maybe in these cars, it's you know, I don't know. He seemed to think he was, but it's certainly not playing out that way right now. As of course, most of the field is pitted.
Thinking you are and actually doing 2 completely different things. They're 2 completely different things, Jim.
I mean,
and
you're correct.
There's nothing against Tyler, but racing on a gamepad is out of the realm on iRacing. And relatively speaking, no matter how difficult oval racing is, and it is difficult because there's little nuances you need to learn, the reality is you only have to turn one direction. So it's going to be that little bit easier to transition into a gamepad on an oval than it is on a road course where you're having to make sure the car brakes. It's hard enough to have a brake on the controller, Jim, to actually use that trigger on the back as a brake pedal. You've got no feel for brakes at all.
Right.
This thing doesn't have brakes as it is. So when you can't feel them, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I certainly couldn't do it. No chance that I could do it.
I've done some laps, and they're very slow laps on a keyboard and mouse in a supercar, and it's not fun. And I don't want to do it on a gamepad either. I've tried it on a gamepad. You cannot feel anything in the car, and I much prefer to stay with my wheel. I find it a lot more comfortable, Jim, and I can push it a lot harder too. But at this stage, we've got Bear, who's now gotten past Mark Hertzig, but Hertzig does need to stop down pit road. Well, he has already taken a stop, actually.
No, he stopped, yeah. Yeah, he stopped.
So he's actually made gains, and he made gains on Marty Rogers when he did stop. Interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and man, he was really riding Chad Bear's bumper there, but they there's a lap car here, I believe. I don't know who that was, but they seemed to kind of open the gap up there during that with the lap car situation. And just
that would be Jason Benson.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and where is Jason Benson running?
He's 25 at the moment.
Okay, so
Back in the field.
I saw Tex. I thought Tex got lapped by the leaders. Tex hasn't pitted yet. That's why.
He
okay.
hasn't come down pit road, so
Okay.
he's gotten his lap back because of that.
Yeah.
Kyle Dewey, Tyler Rulis, Michael Seymour, Tex Nichols is yet to come down pit road. Everyone else has taken a pit stop in this race or is currently in pit lane. So for the NicholsOilPros.com driver of Tex Nichols, he would be the next to get lapped by Kyle Gretsch and Mark and Chad Bear. as Ryan Heights is just about to get lapped 2 by Kyle Gretsch. So those guys yet to be back on the lead lap completely, Jim. And at this stage of the race, you know, you're 3 laps or 2.5 laps away from the stage ending. Kyle Gretsch looks to have this thing wrapped up. It's pretty much now maintain position, maintain where you are, keep yourself on the road, keep yourself in check, get the points at the stage ending, and then try and push on to the end of this race, because they're going to have maybe 14 laps after the pace car comes in to get home and check a flag. 14 laps that they can try and make up positions and make up points.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to quite say that it looks like Kyle has this wrapped up, because we got a stage break caution coming. That's going to bunch the field back up. Chad Bear, we know Chad Bear is fast. He had that little off track on the first lap, but you know, other than that, he's done a phenomenal job working his way back up. If I'm not mistaken, he dropped down to like 10th or 12th and has worked his way back up through this field. So I'm not quite ready to hand the trophy to Kyle yet, even though I did make a mistake last week and didn't give him his credit for winning the championship last year. And he's a phenomenal driver, and clearly he's a good road course driver. But Chad Bear is too, and it's going to be fun to see those two. Once this gap gets closed back up after this stage break.
Will we see at the other side of the coin, Jim, off the restart? Will we see Kyle Gretsch blow it up in turn 1?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, at this point, these guys have gotten themselves into a bit of a rhythm on the track, and you know, they've gotten a feel for these cars. You know, it's a different animal. That first lap is just one of those things that just happens sometimes. You know, I think both of those guys should be okay going into turn 1 this time.
Yep. Just make sure that your volumes are set correctly, Jim. Just the commentary is apparently a bit low for both of us apparently.
Oh, all right. Well, I can turn up. I am wide open. Let's see. I turned you up a little bit there. Yeah, I'm wide open. I need to find some booster from my microphone or switch over to my headset mic, maybe.
Maybe change over to your headset mic, Jim, at the stage changeover. But at the moment, Kyle Gretsch leads the way, 6.7 seconds. So he's actually gained some time now on Chad Bear. Marty Rogers is a little bit further back, as Mark Herzig, Keaton Crothers are all involved in a little triple threat affair with Marty for P3 in the stage at this point. It's the 809, the 57, and the 32, all in a tightly contested battle. Herzig wants the move up the inside at Canada corner, not willing to send it under brakes on Rogers. Has to tuck back in behind and wait for another opportunity. Rogers runs it wide, cracks under pressure, nearly makes contact in the rejoin with Crothers. Somehow they avoided, and Herzig is now on the podium for the stage end as well. Keaton Crothers, Marty Rogers. As we get the stage end, we get the yellow flag, and we get set for the pace car to enter the field. That's Dragon Technicals, our round sponsor. Have a quick chat to him at the stage end as well.
Yeah, let's here. I'll tell you what.
We'll wait for him. We'll wait for him to see when he's actually on. There he is. He's right there. So let's have a quick chat to him.
Well,
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
You guys talking to me?
Yes, we are, but we're just waiting for the NicholsOilPros.com ad to finish. There we go. Mr. Nichols, up 7 spots. Not having a bad run in the road course tonight. Do you think maybe you can make up some more positions in the next part of the race after this stage gets underway?
Possibly, if people keep running off the track. Of course, I've been off track myself, but trying to minimize that.
I was about to say, I don't think there's an if about people running off track. I think it's when people run off track, Tex.
Yeah, I think that's probably.
It's actually a little looser than when I was running practice laps earlier.
So that's good. I mean, if you were like me, I was struggling to get the car to turn. So the fact that it's a little looser is probably a little more comfortable for you at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm finding is kind of loose off the corner when you roll onto the throttle. If you roll onto it a little too quick, it wants to break loose.
Yeah, I can understand that. So where are we at? Are you gonna? Do we need to let you go so you can pit while you're under this caution?
Oh yeah, I have to pit for gas. I've got
Okay.
1 lap of fuel left, but these pace laps take so long.
Okay.
They really
well,
do. Well, thank you so much for coming over chat to us, Tex. Best of luck in the next part of the race towards the checkered flag. We'll see if you can survive and make up some good positions inside to the top 20.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I swapped over my mic. So if whoever was commenting that you could be Jason Brooks, okay, you did say that's better. Okay, yeah, I did. I switched mics, so we'll go with this one the rest of the race. Does it sound okay? If it's mumbly or muted or anything, let me know.
Well, I do know that Discord's still through your podcast mic. That's fine, Jim. I can hear you through that one. That's totally okay.
Yeah, we'll be all right with that for now.
So we get a little bit of a breather because we'll be under caution probably for the next lap or two. Plus, we've also got to do the Lucky Dog wave around, which I believe will be Ryan Hyatt, because as the leaders are actually coming in. So they're all coming in for a nice little stop. Ryan Hyatt definitely will get the Lucky Dog rule then, because he's going to be at the front of the field when they come past him.
Yeah,
So
that's
he get his Lucky Dog wave around, which will then get him out at the back at the train and back onto the lead lap, which is unfortunate for Tex.
yeah.
Because he was 1 position behind Ryan, and he's only just missing out on Lucky Dog as Hyatt's been allowed past the pace car. As I believe Seymour is too, so I think we're actually doing all wave arounds for those guys, so that'll be good for them. Which means Tex will get Lucky Dog, because once he's at the back of the field, he will be a lap down.
So my question is, those guys pitted earlier. Why would everyone come back in here unless they
save him another pit stop, Jim? It's free. It's under the pace car. It's a free stop.
But do they need? I'm surprised someone didn't keep track position. They shouldn't have needed fuel. They should have been right. Well, they might. Yeah, I mean, but look, Tex made it all the way to the. Okay, yeah, I guess so. All right, yeah, they would be short fuel, wouldn't they? Because they pitted on lap 12, most everybody. So yeah, that would only take them to 24, and this is a 28 lap race, plus a few caution parade laps. So yeah, that's okay. All right, my bad. I guess I'm still thinking oval strategy, you know, but that was actually a well-placed stage break then, if you think about it. Forced him to pit before and pit there. Kyle's trying to run. He was trying to run over the pace car there.
I guess look at how long the circuit is. So it's 4.048 miles. 4.048 times 28. Yeah, so we're doing 113 miles, Jim. So
yeah. Okay.
They'll definitely need fuel. Oh no, Tex Nichols has been off the track at the end of the back straight.
Oh my goodness.
He's just come out of pit road and he's run it way wide down there.
Oh, he was trying to catch the field probably.
Yep.
Oh, he sure did.
Hyatt
Don't hit the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, he's all right. He's all right. Go get him, Tex.
Tex should be it'll be Jason Benson maybe. Nope. Tyler Rules is there. Michael Seymour. So Michael Seymour will be. I think Hyatt has been given his Lucky Dog because everyone else has actually been made to sit back behind the pace car, Jim.
Somebody just went by, yeah. And now the guy sitting behind the pace car is a lap down.
Oh, it was Elton Wu. Elton, what are you doing? He's just blown past the whole field.
Oh, then he's...
Hang on. Elton Wu has just... Elton Wu has just passed the whole field
But then he
and
backed
is now
up.
ahead of the race leader. But he's still ahead of the race leader.
Yeah. So is who is that? The 60 car? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he's out of position. He's a lap down.
Right. Elton Wu is not a lap down. Oh no.
No.
Elton, what's going on, man?
And he should be getting told by iRacing that he needs to give up positions.
Yes. Check your
Which
box.
he's not. I mean, realistically, if he's allowed to stay there, that's just flat out unfair for some drivers.
Well,
He's having to come into the
no,
lane. I think he's actually
last
got a penalty.
he last pitted on lap 7 though. So he didn't pit under this cycle. So if he was on the lead lap, he technically would have been in front of the leader because the leader pitted. But then he had to pit here.
Yeah, but irregardless, he wasn't on the lead lap, Jim.
He wasn't?
No.
Okay.
He was on the lead lap when he came past them. So he'd already come past, and then he came past again. He was on the lead lap.
Okay. All right. Yeah, what a mess that was. Not sure. Anyway, he's pitting now, so hopefully everything's sorted out.
It should be. He'll be at the back of the field for sure.
Hey, look who's up there. And so they're going to be double file restart too. Look who's up there. Yeah. Yeah, man.
We got a short stop though, 6.4 seconds. Didn't take a full stop. Same with Sean Bradley.
They took splash fuel, kept their tires. They just topped off their fuel. So you got Parasini, Sean Bradley, and Mark Herzog. Mark Herzog was already up there, but Bradley and Parasini took fuel only and jumped up the ladder there. That's going to be exciting.
Track position. That's smart play, taking the track position, because you know that some drivers are going to end up having off tracks, and if they can keep them on the road, they're going to be in a hot position, Jim.
Yes.
So this could work out well for them.
It could indeed.
And if we can see as well, I see John Campbell's inside the 10 as well now.
He's back
Cam
up there.
Kane's up positions too. Where is Chad Bear? Is all the way back in P17.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he took a really long stop, 39 seconds.
Oh.
Has he overfueled that car?
Well, you can't. I mean, they were all taking full fuel, I would think.
So then, has he had a speeding in pit penalty
or
something? And
something.
Sit there?
Yeah, it sounds like he might have got a speeding coming in penalty.
Wow.
Yeah, something.
Well, he's going to have work to do, Jim. His night's not going to be boring, that's for sure. He's going to have to make his way through now 16 cars to get up to the top end of town.
Twice. He already dropped down to 12th once and had to come back.
He might get some luck of the draw here, and there will likely be cars that'll go off track. So he'll probably get some free positions, of course, off the back of that, which will be good for him. But for Gretsch and for Pirasini, they are going to lead us away off of this pace car restart. Herzog needs to get up in behind Pirasini, of course, to make it fair for everyone else. Doesn't want to hold them up.
Yeah,
Sean Bradley's up there, last round winner too.
That's one good thing they do in this league. They typically don't lay back on the starts and stuff, which I can't stand that. You know, that drives me nuts when people do that.
Yeah, it's all right to give a car 1 or 2 car lengths, but you don't need to give about a whole mile to the car ahead of you. Come on.
No, and they think that it's gonna be some miraculous thing that they just catch it just right. Just get into position and catch it right anyway. You'll be just fine. Yeah, that annoys me bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my pet peeves.
Sounds like James with it sounds like James with blue flags.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
So Kyle Gretsch, Matt Pirasini, 27 versus 24.
Yeah, this could be a good. This could be a fun with Pirasini, Gretsch, Bradley, up there. This Herzog. We hadn't talked much about Herzog tonight. A little bit earlier, but he's running that In-N-Out burger livery. We always comment on that, but here we go. Let's
Well, we hoping to have an animal style restart, that's for sure. Piracini Gretsch, we wait for green flag. We wait for Gretsch to put the foot down right on that green flag, dropping green flag running at Road America.
Oh.
And it's a horrid start from Piracini, but Bradley and Gretsch have rocketed away already, but Gretsch does not want to give the slipstream to Bradley. He'd rather have the regular racing line and give it to Piracini, who has to try and go too wide through turn one, has to give it up to Bradley to go restart from the Duff Beer machine.
Yeah, that was
Oh, Brad Kress in the wall.
Oh no. We'll come back and look at that once they sort themselves out.
And Chad Bear is already up to P14, I want to point out as well. He had a great restart.
All right, looks like we settled out here. Let's go see what happened to Brad Kress. Did he? Let's see.
It was on the inside of turn one. Oh, he got a bit loose and then a bit of a helping hand. Oh, no.
Yeah, that tore that car up good, I'm sure.
It did.
Wow.
Oh, and then Ben Harkham as well has gone off track at the end of the straight, Jim.
Oh, my
Down
goodness.
into the sand trap.
Oh, he sure did. Let's go see real quick.
Did he have a helping hand in this, or was this his own? No, it was his own doing.
Oh,
no. We've seen a very similar incident like that, Jim, when we've called a race together previously at this track. It's just one driver goes inside, one goes outside. There's one stuck in the middle, and it ends up in tears, it seems.
It does end up in
live. Gretsch has had a great restart to this race. 1.6 seconds is now the gap back to Sean Bradley. Matt Piracini a further second back as Mart Herzog has had a big wide run through the kink. He's kept it going, Jim, but he did scrape the wall as he ran it wide. So they need to keep themselves in check, keep these tyres in check too, as Suarez wants it up the inside. Sorry, that was Emmett up the inside. To apologise further back. But for Piracini, he's under all sorts of pressure from Crothers.
So let's see. I'm trying to find the Mark Herzog incident. Let me see. I think I've got it right here. Oh, man. he didn't hit the wall. He kept that going.
He just track extended. He put the foot into it and he hoped for the best.
Man, that was
if there's ever been a meaning for the terminology spray and pray, that was Mark Herzog right there. Chad Bear's now on the up and behind this battle too. Oh, but Bear, there's been contact with Herzog in the background, Jim.
Yeah, big contact back there. Let's see. So Herzog. Oh,
there was initial contact with Herzog in the car ahead.
Oh, man!
And bang!
All right, let's see. I'm gonna look at that from the chopper.
And he came straight out in front of your favorite driver in the field in that Cunningham Tires car.
Yes. This is
Harmon.
This is Harmon's part in that, but that was later. Oh, he did. Oh, man. Oh, Chad Bear, man. Completely innocent in that whole deal and just got destroyed.
I wouldn't say he was innocent in the last part of it. He pulled out onto the road.
Okay, that's true. I'll give you that,
but I'd say Harmon was the innocent party in that latter half, but definitely this first part, this was not Bear's fault at all. Not to put blame on Herzog, but he got loose, and that's what caused the contact.
You're right.
Yeah, pulling out straight in front of Harmon.
You're right. 100%.
Nowhere to go for him.
100% correct, sir. So Kyle Gresh is just gone again.
Steamed away.
Yeah.
He is steamed away, and he's had a bit of a lifeline in this one. 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 to go when Gretsch crosses the start-finish line. And Jim, I'd like to point out, all three Canadians in the field tonight, top four.
You're something else with you and your Canadians.
We're not going to talk about where the Australian is, but the Canadians are up in the top four.
He started well. And
Sean Bradley, though, we spoke too soon. He's in the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
So anyone and everyone can get caught out by Road America, it seems. And Sean Bradley has had an all-timer at the final corner. We await the replays to come in. This was it right here. Caught the grass, rear end goes round and bang straight in the tire barrier.
Oh, that's
So
it.
not too much. He's lucky that these things have got good structural integrity, Jim, and it was a tire barrier that he hit, not a concrete wall. But still, that is not only hurting the race, but hurting his ego as well after he won the race last week and locked himself in to a playoff position later on in the season.
Wow. Yeah, that was brutal there, man. Golly. Back up front here. Well, towards the front anyway. Got this 3-car battle going on here with Marty Rogers. Apparently, while we were gone, got by.
Yeah, that was
Keaton.
down the straight. Yeah, it was down the straight. It was into turn 1. He got the slipstream, tucked it up the inside. Job done.
Let's see if we can go back and get a look at that since we missed it. Oh, yeah, he
got the side draft and then just
powered it on through there. That's, nice move by him. Nice move. Oh, wow. That's hard to hold from that inside line like that.
Especially with the brakes that are on these things.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Right. Try stopping a boat without an anchor. That's basically what it's like trying to pull these cars up.
These three are having them, as James would say, a right nice ding dong.
Well, it looks even better on the TV cams as well, Jim, because Piracini is running all sorts of defensive lines and Crothers has got the best seat in the house. This is now allowing Will Emmett to get into the battle as well in behind them. He's got Anthony Suarez on the back of him, but this front three of Piracini, Rogers and Crothers, not to forget about Gretsch, who's about 9 seconds up the road. He's about a lifetime up the road, but this is the battle we want to focus on because this is the closest one we've got inside of the top 10.
Marty, you making a move here. Look at him. Oh no, he can't stop that.
Out of it.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Oh my God. I thought he was going flying off the track there. He was carrying so much speed.
I think Piracini did too. There's been a big blow up at Canada Corner, Jim, with Kyle Dewey and Tyler Rulis as well further back in the field. There's been it's a big one, Jim. This is one we need to look at because this was huge. So Dewey runs it off the road, spins it round, but just wait. He disappears. So did Tyler. They actually made contact in the Shadow Realm. So they made contact in the Shadow Realm. They'll then reappear very shortly, I do believe. Yep, they do. So there's the remnants of that one. There's Dewey coming back on track. So they actually made contact while they were both
blinking
in the stratosphere. Yeah, they were both blinking and they made contact whilst they were blinking.
Wow. That's interesting. Let me see if
back on on the live in a second. So here's Rulis. So yeah, he disappears, and then you can see Dewey's car blinks back into existence when it gets hit.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that was strange. Tex Nichols is sitting back there, man, going, I don't know what's happening, but this car's on and off the track, blinking. All right, let's see. So where are we at now? Marty Rogers has just had a fantastic couple of laps, and he has moved up from 4th to 2nd here and leaving those guys behind while that battle back there. Let's go back and see what's going on back here. Piracini has got his hands full of
pressure. He feels like a regular David Bowie, Freddie Mercury collaboration. He is under pressure from Keaton Crothers and Will Emmett.
Oh my goodness. That's I'm old enough to remember that.
I'm young enough to have been taught it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, Keaton is giving Piracini all he wants.
Hey, he does not want to let him out of his sight, that's for sure. Emmett won't want to let them go either. As Sean Bradley's on the comeback further back in the train too. Suarez is in this battle as well, so there's a nice little 4-car battle pack happening between them.
Yeah, Suarez has pulled himself Suarez has pulled himself into this battle, hasn't he? Guy's running.
He's done well. He's kept it clean.
He's running the
He's
wrong
up
oil,
two.
though. Man, that Mobile One won't do you anything over that AMSOIL.
Oh, I definitely won't. Definitely will not.
By the way,
You
just
can see as well that Cameron Kane in behind, he's up 15, Jim, into P7
Oh, my
too,
goodness.
so he's actually chasing them down.
Let's get a look at that. Yeah, let's look at him for a little bit. So speaking of AMSOIL, Tex Nichols told me he is still, this guy's crazy, man. He's still going to run that same promotion. You send him an email, and he'll put you on his preferred customer list, 25% off, and free shipping over $100. He'll do that for the first year that you're with him. I mean, that is that's absolutely crazy. I don't know how he's making any money at all.
Well, is it free shipping international as well, Jim? I mean,
probably not free shipping international.
there you go.
We'll have to ask him about that, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's not. I don't want to put words in Tex's mouth. He's crazy enough. He may do something.
I would say it's U.S. and Canada only, most likely.
Yes, most likely U.S. and Canada.
Because that would cost an arm, and it would cost more than the oil would to send it international.
That is true.
Cam Kane on the comeback train. He's up 15 tonight into P7 on the road. But those four drivers ahead of him, Suarez, Emmett, Crothers, Piracini, they're all in an intense battle, ironically. Tex Nichols is just exiting pit lane. Kyle Gretsch as well leads the way at this stage. He has not given up the lead ever since lap 1, where Chad Bear ran it straight off the road in towards the wall at turn 1.
So
Gretsch, it's been a night to remember for him.
Based on our stage break conversation with 14 to go at that time, I said I wasn't willing to just hand it over to Kyle Gretsch, that I thought Chad Bear could possibly give him some fits. But unfortunately for Chad, his night turned severely bad, and Kyle is in a good spot. He's 11, almost 12 seconds ahead of second place here.
I was talking about just the stage win. I wasn't talking about the race win, Jim. I know that anything can happen during the race. I'd literally just meant the stage win.
Oh, did you?
Was locked up at that point for Kyle. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the race win. I'm like, he's fast and all, but there's a long way to go.
No. I'd look like a genius if I called it at that point, but no.
Well,
I meant the stage win.
You should have just shut up and let me make you out to be that genius, because
because I'm also saving myself in case he does make a mistake and lose the lead. So, all
right, I'll give you that one.
Keep myself in check.
Piracini,
though, under pressure from Crothers here towards Canada corner, Jim. We've seen a lot of action at this corner tonight.
Indeed, we have.
It clean though. They've done well. Now running up through Thunder Valley. Crothers gets it done. So Piracini, it appears, just struggling a little bit on road courses, also on those older tyres as well, Jim. Remember, he's on the old rubber, and that is not something that he'll want to be wrestling with throughout the rest of this race. He's now got Anthony Suarez hot on his heels. All these guys have got fresh tyres. He's had to come into pit lane, and Piracini's had to give it up. Emmett's also in as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not surprising, though, like you said, See if we can gather. Yeah, that's going to cost him. That's going to put him a few spots back.
Well, he's now behind Sean Bradley and Tim O'Connor. Chad Bear's also into pit road, so maybe this was actually another scheduled pit stop for some drivers, Jim. We may see Piracini come back out in this fight just yet, depending on how long this stop is. Elton Wu's now rocketing past the main straight 2 I'm seeing from the binoculars in the comms box as well, as Suarez still continues on the back of Crothers. Piracini's just exited pit road, Jim, 6.9 seconds, so no tyres for him. Will Emmett as well, a short stop, so no tyres for him as well.
So that was, I guess they did not take he did not take a full tank of fuel trying to gain track position, but I don't know, that's kind of curious. I'm not sure what this is.
Kyle Gretsch, what has he done to get off track? I think he might have just run it wide, Jim.
Oh, Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't.
he's-
He just straight lined it.
yeah, he ran it wide. All right.
So that's a bit of a chink in the armor because now that gap is down to 9 seconds. So it's actually been halved just from that moment. So quite possibly, if he makes another one of those mistakes, he'll be under pressure from Marty Rogers once again.
Yeah, you can see in that wide angle shot right there, you could see Gretsch in front of him now up there. Yeah, I mean, that definitely cut that gap down for sure. And no telling what that might have done to Kyle's tires, too. Those tires get a little angry sometimes, you know?
Yep. As if we go back to live, Jim, Marty Rogers having to traverse around Tyler Rulis, who has just run it way wide at the second to last corner and is still running it wide at the last corner.
Oh, my goodness,
in fact, he is struggling, is young Tyler.
Let's see. Let's
But Rogers is
bounce
still pushing
right back there and just see old Tyler's off track there. Yeah. Tyler's struggling.
There was a worse one before that, Jim. If you find the one that's just before it, it was a lot earlier than that it actually all started. As Kane, Bradley, and O'Connor are into pit road, so I suspect this is actually now normal stops for a lot of drivers tonight as well. This was Rulis's wild run. Didn't quite hit the apex, ran it way wide. Big wild run.
Oh, there goes Marty.
Was lucky that Rulis didn't come out any earlier. Oh, Rogers, sorry, it was lucky, sorry.
Yeah, Tyler had a wild ride there. You know, obviously Tyler didn't realize that the cautions were turned off tonight, and you know he's famous for. There was Tex going off track right there, right in front of Marty.
He just wanted to put some advertising out there for AMSOIL.
He probably did want to just show off the AMSOIL car a little bit here. Let's go watch him run off track there. Oh, doing donuts out there.
He already spun round. I'm not sure if there was a helping hand or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Go back here. I think this is where it actually happened at. That's a nice looking AMSOIL car, by the way. Nah, he just looped it right there.
It appears cold tires out of pit road.
Man, right in front of him.
Maybe the crew spilled some oil. You know, just
got a little on tires.
Bit for him.
That was right in front of Gretsch. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That was could have been a lot more key to this race than us just looking at Texas paint job, you know.
Well, just quickly as well, back on live, Gretsch is just having to traverse around some lap traffic. He's just gotten by them and he's into pit road as well, Jim.
Okay.
So we'll see if Rogers follows him.
Here comes Rogers up this.
He's in pit road now as well.
Yes.
What about Keaton Crothers? He comes in. Anthony Suarez is in. So now we've got to keep an eye on Piracini, who's just coming through the kink as well, Jim, further back in the field. So this is now to see if he can make it back up onto the podium or not.
Well, none of those guys are moving yet in pit road. Oh,
yeah, they weren't in the box yet. Gretsch is just in the box now.
Oh, big lockup.
It's a long stop as well. There's a lockup there for Piracini, but it's a long stop for Gretsch. 14.5 seconds. He's taken rubber on this stop. Piracini rockets down the main straight here at Road America. Gretsch and Rogers are out of pit road. Piracini's not gotten past Crothers. Is he going to get back past Suarez? He is. So back to where he was in P4 on the road here this evening. 6 to go.
Yeah,
at Road America and the NicholsOilPros.com. 28 laps of Road America.
His front tires cannot be happy after that lockup, though.
They wouldn't be happy with the fact that he hasn't changed tires all night, as that's Anthony Suarez in the background off the road, Jim. So the Mobile One has, it's not AMSOIL. That's why it's off the road.
Oh my goodness. We love Tex. Yeah, that was unfortunate for Suarez. He was up there, in the fight, and that did not go well for him at all. All right, let's see. Let's go back up here and see. But I'll tell you what has happened. Look who's right behind Kyle Gretsch. Only 2 seconds back right now. So that pit cycle, Marty Rogers closed the gap down quite a bit.
Yeah, he's down to 2 seconds. That was because of the longest stop of Gretsch. He took fresh tires on that stop, Jim.
So how long was Marty's stop?
7.3.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Kyle's got fresh rubber and enough gas. It's gonna be that's gonna be hard to beat once some tires come up to temperature.
I think he was forced to take the rubber since he had that off track as well.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Obviously running it wide at turn 4, so he probably decided better to take the rubber than to have the worn tires out there.
Oh.
As that's Tex Nichols coming into pit lane now once again.
Tex, the entrance was back about 100 yards. Let's see. I'm trying to get a perspective here of there we go. How close those two are. I mean, that's a second and a half, or a little less than a second and a half, folks. That's that seems like an eternity, though, when you're looking at it, doesn't it?
Oh, I mean, it feels like a lifetime when you're on the road. You know, you think about a second and a half, and it's barely anything. But in a race, it feels like forever is ahead of you at this point. So for Rogers and Gretsch, well, Gretsch just has to keep doing what he's doing, keep it clean, keep it mean, and keep it on the road. For Rogers, he needs to try and find some pace, but he also doesn't want to make a mistake and give up time to Crothers in behind him. He's got a 3.4 second gap between him and P3.
Yeah, and then there's a big gap back to Parasini.
Let's just check on the timing tower, Jim. Just some of those intervals that are currently some of those drivers instead of the fastest lap.
Yeah, we can do that. Should have been sharing that earlier. My fault.
That is okay. As Rogers tries to chase down Gretsch, Crothers has got a nice little gap to cut down on Rogers, but Gretsch is starting to come up to some traffic as Rogers is starting to just extend a little bit further back. Tex Nichols is done apparently tonight. That's unfortunate for Tex.
Yeah, this what his go is that? Oh, that's a lap car. But that was right in front of the leader. That could have went south too.
Very well could have. Oh, they're actually blinking really bad. Dylan Brown.
Yeah, blinking bad.
Down pit road. Oh, runs it wide. Does not want to take out P2.
Gee whiz. And P3's coming up on him now. Oh, there's nothing worse, man, than being right on somebody who's blinking bad like that. That's so bad.
It's the worst moment that can happen for you.
Right.
And Crothers he's made it past safely, but 2 second gap is now what separates them with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, he's actually Gretsch is opening that gap up. We'll go back here real quick and look. Something happened to Jared Jackson, and of course he was on the podium in our dirt race we did Wednesday night with their Draft Queens league on Wednesday night. They did a dirt race at Bristol, and we broadcasted here on JPB Network, and that was a lot of fun. And he was on the podium, so I wanted to give him a little shout out, a little love for that. And he's actually like in 4th or 5th place quietly in the points here in this league right now, and not having the best of nights tonight, unfortunately.
Just since Tex's race is done, Jim, I might just quickly drag him in. You can have a quick chat to him for just the next few laps. I just need to step away for a moment.
Sure.
So we'll drag in Tex and have a quick chat to him, and I'll be back very shortly.
Okay. Hey, Tex, you there?
I am here.
Hey, man, I had a little second up here in the booth while we're closing down on 4 to go here in this race, and my partner stepped away, so I figured we'd pull you in here and chat with you for a second. Looks like you decided to call it quits for the night, huh?
Oh, I managed to get loose and I hit one of them tire walls. I didn't think it was that bad, but when I pulled into the pits, it said too much damage. We're done.
Unfortunately, that happened to me in my big NASCAR race this week. I was 10 laps in and somebody wrecked me, and that's what I got. So that's rough, but that's all right. You had a fun run tonight, and this we already said this isn't necessarily your cup of tea. So it's but I'm glad to see that the league is doing this. It mixes it up a little bit, and gives some guys maybe a better chance of scoring some points who maybe aren't oval whizzes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is not my cup of tea. You're right on that. But I have gotten better. I've been running. I actually ran the little Mazda cars on iRacing at this track, so the track was familiar. Just the braking in these cars is so bad. It's just
yeah, these cars.
It's just difficult to figure out where you got to get on the binders.
Yeah, these cars do not like stopping like that, and they certainly don't like stopping like that and turning 90 degrees. But yeah, we're down to 3 to go here, and old Gretsch has got him about a 5-second lead there or so, and Marty Rogers.
And that's no surprise.
Yeah, no, Kyle's a great driver. It's unfortunate that he can't make all the races this year. Obviously, he didn't think he was last year, but he made enough to win the championship. And I was earlier in the race. I had to clear up. I actually called Kyle Dewey last year's champion last week during the race, so I had to set that straight. It was definitely Kyle Gretsch, and what a run he had last year. And great last race of the season to win it all too. That was fantastic. But yeah, we're just closing it down here, and my partner had to step away for a second, so I figured I'd bring you in here and just get a little chat with you. I was telling everybody about you still doing that crazy promotion. If they send you an email, you're going to put them on the preferred customer list, and
absolutely.
That's I don't know how you're making any money doing that, but that's that's up to you. That's it's good advertising for your business, I guess, but you're going to go broke doing it.
Actually, to be honest, it's the commissions, the way it's set up. Another dealer showed me that there's a way to cover that cost and not hurt yourself with it.
Oh, that's really nice. So then that just means that you're just taking that advantage of that and passing it on to your customers who enjoy sim racing, that's fantastic, man. I love to hear that. So yeah, that's great, man. They got cars going off all over the track here, getting out of these.
I just saw that.
Everywhere.
They're using up all of the runoff and then some.
And then some, yes. And so let's see, we're at 2 to go now. So I guess when Kyle passes the start-finish line, he should get the white flag, I guess. That's Kyle's had a obviously brilliant run.
I don't think anybody's going to challenge him, but the field, I'm looking at the timing, it looks like everybody's pretty well spread out.
Yeah, the only real battle is second and third. You got Marty Rogers is up there having a really nice run in second place, and Keaton Crothers is just about a second behind him. That's probably the closest battle on the track besides I guess old Will Imred and Chad Bear are pretty close together. Chad had a rough night. He was up front, lost the lead early, and then was coming back up and got wrecked after the stage break. Not even his fault, and so that's tough. All right, yeah, there's a white flag. We're down to 1 lap to go here, and Kyle comfortably out in front now with a 6.9 second lead, almost 7 seconds. And
I have timed it perfectly to come back right for the white flag.
you did indeed.
Very
So-
sorry
Yeah.
about that, Jim. Great that you were able to have a chat to him though, Tex. I do have to ask you a question, just
Yes,
to
sir.
confirm for those out there who might not know, where in the US, but also
Oh yeah,
US and Canada, is that deal applicable?
the free shipping part of the customer thing.
All of the lower 48 and anywhere in Canada.
Awesome.
I'm not sure about Hawaii, but I think that they actually have a shipping program for Hawaii as well.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So
Oh,
yeah.
very good.
So
And
unfortunately,
I wish
suppose-
they I wish
suppose-
they sold in Europe too, but they don't yet.
right?
Well, I was going to say, perhaps maybe then, for those who are in Hawaii or Alaska, if that wasn't available, maybe a discounted shipping cost, maybe for those preferred customers, maybe as well. Text possible if it was able to work, but yeah, because I joked with Jim before. I'm like, I wonder if that deal applies international because it'd probably cost you more to ship it than it would to actually buy the oil.
Yeah, the shipping overseas, I've done that a couple of times on some other things, and it's pretty stiff on the shipping price. And I just noticed there's Gretsch coming around. He's
Yeah. Well,
almost to the end of his final lap.
He is indeed. So we'll let you go, Tex. Thanks so much for coming over chat to Jim whilst I had to step away for a moment. Really appreciate it. Best of luck next week on track.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. As we traverse the final corner, though, of Road America, Jim, 28 laps later, and Kyle Gretsch, who took the lead of the race at the beginning of lap 1, turn 1, takes victory and will take the sexy Wall Trip 27 car to victory lane here at Road America, 8 seconds ahead of Marty Rogers in P2, Jim, and P3, Keaton Crothers. He gets himself some good points, but for Kyle Gretsch, he's got himself a playoff spot later in the season.
yes, and well, like I said, he's last year's champion. He just is unable to run all of the races this year due to his work schedule, and so yeah, that's good for him to get himself into the playoffs. I'm assuming you have to have a certain amount of races to qualify. We'll check.
So probably at least maybe half
Yeah,
races?
yeah. I want to say it was like 7 or 8 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I came in late, so to the season last year, and I
Well,
remember
of
that.
course, we are now past the halfway point, Jim, as well. I mean, we've got
Yes.
4 rounds to go before we're at the playoffs.
Yeah,
And I've
that's
already been
right.
up to come back next week for Iowa. I
Oh,
might just say to Jane, just leave me on for the rest of the season, possibly.
yeah. At this point, you're getting to know the guys, and that makes a big difference when you're doing this stuff. So that'd be great.
Yeah, I might send him a message today. He asked me if I could do next week earlier this morning before I was awake, and I said, sure, I'll do Iowa.
Kyle spinning
do
around,
that.
being silly.
Yeah, he's spun around.
So let's do
But no, yeah, we'll sort it out, though. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
like to be back.
that'd be great. Yeah, at this point, the guys are
9
getting to know
starts
you.
in Jeff Porter, apparently, so you need to have 9 to be eligible
Oh,
for the playoffs.
There you go.
And I'm actually very excited, Jim, because this year in Supercars, actually, they've introduced their own playoff series, their own finals series as well, which is pretty interesting. The way it works out, it's a little bit different to NASCAR. It's not if you take a race win, you get a playoff spot. It's the top 10. So if you win, so there's a sprint series, which is the regular season, before we get to like Bathurst and,
Right.
and the Bend. If you win that, you get a playoff spot. If you win Bathurst or the Bend or the Endurance Cup, you get a playoff spot, and then it's the rest of the top 10 in the championship, and then in the playoffs for that final. I think it's either the final round in Adelaide or it's the final few rounds of the season after
Alright.
the Bend. So
I
pretty
think we've
interesting how it's going to work out. I'm excited. It's different, but tonight though we had a great race. Kyle Gretsch takes the win, of course. Ahead of Marty Rogers in P2, Keaton Crothers in P3, Chad Bear made his way back up to P4, so it wasn't too bad of a loss tonight, Jim, for
He
him.
did.
But not where he would have wanted to be. Matt Pericini for the top 5. Will Emmett Anthony Suarez, Mark Herzig, and Cameron Kane for your top 10. Kane up 13 spots, arguably one of the drivers of the day, Jim, outside of Kyle Gretsch. Brad Kress, Timothy O'Connor for your top. Actually, no, Kane was 9th. Kress was your top 10. Timothy O'Connor, P11, up 9 spots. Sean Bradley, John Campbell, Elton Wu, John Crutchley, the Nodge, last week's round sponsor, took out the top 15. Ryan Hyatt, Dylan Brown, Jared Jackson, Michael Seymour, Isaac Voss, Matt Harmon, Kyle Dewey, the top 22 cars on the road. And then we had Tex Nichols, this round sponsor, Tyler Rulis, Ben Harkham, Jason Benson, Matthew Aloka, Tyler Merritt, Brian Cooper, Ward Fisher, your non-finishers / non-starters here this evening. Let's quickly drag in, if he's available, Mr. Kyle Gretsch. He is in there as our race winner. Do we have Marty Rogers? No, we do not.
But we do have third, I believe.
We do have Keaton Crothers. We'll drag him in for a quick chat. Mr. Crothers, congratulations. P3 on the road. And to my absolute pleasure, top-seeded Canadian driver in the field this evening. Congratulations.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
And so it was a tough battle out there, especially for the last part of the race after the stage restart. What was the planning and the thought processes towards the end of that race, trying to stay in this battle? Because it appeared that these cars were an absolute boat trying to pull them up into every single corner and turn them around every single corner. How did you find the cars were really reacting, and how was it settling into these cars on a road course?
Yeah, I mean the plan was just keep it on track, stay alive, and Kyle was too fast, so just try to stay alive and try to catch up to Marty there at the end, but he was a little too fast for me.
And of course, I mean, how do you find road courses yourself? I mean, are you more or less a predominant oval driver, or do you like to dabble in road courses every now and again?
No, yeah, I actually drive mostly road courses. I've just started getting into ovals, so trying to run a few more ovals with these boys right now. But yeah, no, definitely more road courses.
Well, I'd also like to point out you are yet another Albertan driver that I can now collect, but it disappoints me that you're from Calgary and not from Edmonton. But that's fine.
If it helps, I grew up in Edmonton.
Oh, okay. Are you an Edmonton fan?
I am an Edmonton fan.
Okay,
sure.
well, I will parlay the fact that you live in Calgary. That is totally fine. But we really appreciate Keaton. I'm an Edmonton fan too, so I like to find more of them out there in the wild. But thank you so much for coming over to chat to us, Keaton. Best of luck next week out at Iowa. We look forward to seeing how you can go. And let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to, any sponsors, any friends or family, whoever it may be. Now's your time to shine.
Oh, no, nothing. Nobody shout out, but thanks very much. We'll see you guys again.
No worries, Keaton. Thank you. I don't know how happy James will be knowing that my main goal is to find more people from Alberta, and specifically people from Edmonton.
Yeah. So
next up, we have our P1 on the road this evening because Marty Rogers is not in the lounge. We'll drag in Mr. Kyle Gretsch, our P1 on the road. Mr. Gretsch, started P2, leading into you come into turn 1, lap 1. All of a sudden, Chad Bear blows it up wide into the sand trap. You take the lead. Did not give up the lead the whole race other than coming down pit road. What was that race like for you, sir?
I was waiting for Chad. Every time I come to a road course, bar like one time, Chad's always ahead of me. So I saw him go off on the corner, and then I was like, what now? So I was just driving, and I kept like looking. I was like waiting for him to come up there because he got up to second. And then he was so fast that he got a pit road speeding penalty after
we thought
stage.
So because we saw that longer pit stop, and we're like, oh, he must have a penalty because of that. But his night went from bad to worse because then he actually got caught up in some traffic, got spun round, and then pulled out in front of another car and got rear-ended. So it was it went from bad to being a nightmare for him.
Yeah, I wanted to thank JC. JC said he was part of my victory there because apparently he turned him around on accident. So thank you, JC, for the apparent assist.
He did, yeah. And then Harmon rear-ended him after he started pulling back out on the track, and Harmon hit him in the rear end. So,
but yeah, that was a ton of fun. Love Road America. Was really looking forward to kind of throwing elbows there with Chad, because me and him always end up kind of being 1-2, and usually the opposite way. But yeah, I'll take the I guess I'll call it lucky win there with him getting in those mistakes.
I don't know how you call that lucky, man. You kept your car on the track. You did everything you needed to do, and you pretty much dominated this race. So there's nothing about that I could even remotely call lucky. But since I do have you here in the booth, and I just want to publicly apologize to you for what I did last week. I know I apologized already in the chat before the race tonight, but and I've announced it on air, but I'm gonna do it to you on air. I accidentally said Kyle Dewey last week when I got to him at 10th place in points, and I said he was our former champion from last year, and then I realized it was kind of too late to clarify it at that point. So I just wanted to again apologize for that. You certainly earned that championship last year, and I don't want to take that away from you. So I apologize, and once again, congratulations. That final run you had to win the championship was great last year.
Yeah, thank you, man. Unfortunately, after that broadcast went up, they raided my house. They took my trophy and they scratched the name out, so the last name's different. So that's unfortunately missing now.
Well,
See what you've done, Jim.
Yeah,
this is what happens when you don't get the facts right.
That's right. Yeah, well, he came and claimed it. You can't blame him for that, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, it's official. It's on the broadcast.
Yeah, it is. It's well, no, if no one saw it, it didn't happen. That's the mindset you got to have. But Kyle, thank you so much for coming over to chat to us. Congratulations on your race win tonight as well. Have you, or will you be in the position to do at least 9 rounds this season prior to the playoffs?
That is a wonderful question. I do not know the answer to. I think I might have missed too many races already.
Okay.
Yeah. You've only had
Vegas. Yeah, I think I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm not in contention.
Okay, fair enough then. All right. Well, no playoff spot for anyone out of Road America, but congratulations nonetheless on the race win, Kyle, and best of luck next time you're out on track here in Triple Bypass. Let us know anyone you wish to give a shout out to, any sponsors, any friends, whoever it may be. And yeah, it's your time to shine after an incredible win out at Road America.
Yeah, shout out to the league first and foremost for just kind of hosting everything. We got 29 starters for this race, which is absolutely insane, especially for a road course. People usually hate those ranking corners, but yeah. Check out my YouTube, Sexy Walltrip on YouTube. I'm trying to stream NIS Fixed this year, and then I'm gonna try to do all of IndyCar iRacing series as well. So half distance cup races, full distance IndyCar races, whenever those are up, on top of me doing whatever races are here and special events and stuff. Hopefully Sebring 12 hours as well.
Well, this should be very, very good to see. Well, Kyle, thanks so much for coming over to chat to us. Best of luck next time out on track in Triple Bypass or whatever you may be racing in future. We look forward to seeing how you go.
All right, thank you guys.
Well, Jim, that'll bring it into our show this evening. An incredible race once again. I thank you, and I apologize having to step away there for a couple of laps. It was, it needed to occur at that point. But it was a good opportunity, though, for you to actually talk to Tex a little bit more about that deal, get his thoughts and rundown of the series, of course, being the series sponsor. And it's good to get his thoughts and point of view, especially now that we're past the halfway point and only a couple of rounds away from the playoffs beginning.
Yeah, he's always fun to talk to, and he's super excited about the series, and like I said, he got us a commercial this week that we're able to run for him, and so it's he's always a lot of fun to talk to. But in fact, I think we'll run his commercial one more time on the way out once we say goodnight. And but yeah, overall from my perspective, man, good race. That was fun. I love road course racing, and I love watching people get a little out of their comfort zone. That was a lot of fun. So, I enjoyed the heck out of that myself.
Well, we really appreciate everyone joining us here once again tonight for the NicholsOilPros.com 28 and the NicholsOilPros.com series for round 7 of the season of Triple Bypass. We appreciate everyone's time. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe the bell icon as well to the JP Broadcasting channel so you're notified whenever we go racing here. We've got so much racing to come your way throughout the end of February and throughout March and the rest of 2025. So you guys want to be on board and check out all the action that we have on offer through all of our commentators and producers here as well. I've been Hamish Munro, joined by Jim Cunningham once again. We appreciate your time, appreciate you being here once again. And until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.